Hey guys, and welcome back to Chatting Breeze. Today I'm just going to be doing just a chat really. I'm also going to be painting my nails. I'm going to be multitasking. But it was a conversation that I had with a friend, and I kind of thought I'd bring it online and have this discussion because it was actually quite sad to a degree. Now, I have touched upon and spoken about this in other vlogs and things, but not really to the extent that I'm going to be talking about it today. And that was in regards to him talking about wanting to change the direction of his life and change what he's doing and feeling like he's too old. Bearing in mind he's 35, I'm 34, so you know there really isn't an age gap between us. And I sat there and was saddened to a degree by what he was saying, because I'm just like, you're 35 years old. What are you talking about? And we were breaking this conversation down, and I was listening to what he was saying and listening to the fears and things like that he had. And it just made me think that this is why so many people do not go and live their dream and figure out a way of doing it and stay in the same routine that they hate on a day-to-day basis. This to me is torture. Especially, I suppose, in this instance where I know the person and I love the person and I'm just so able to see their capability and that what they're doing currently is not potentially meant for them and that they are meant to do something else in the trajectory of life. And the fact that he thought at the age of 35 it was too late was crazy. And I just want to say to anyone who's watching my vlogs who is a little bit older, you know, you're not necessarily in your 20s and maybe you have responsibilities, whether it's a family, whether it's a mortgage, whether it's rent to pay, whatever that situation is, and you just think that there's no hope and you're not able to change what it is that you're doing in life to what it is that you want to do in life. And I'm just here to state to you in any capacity that this is not true. And I hate the cliche saying where there's a will, there's a way, but my gosh, that is fact, that is true. Where there is a will, there is a way. And it may not be an easy way. I am not saying that this path is easy. I am not saying that this is going to be, you know, the thing that's, oh, I just want to change and so I just wake up tomorrow and everything changes for me. That's not reality, unfortunately, but it's not. And there has to be some realism with the realization that with change comes fear, comes hard work, comes juggling, comes sacrifice, all these things. If that's not your case, then you are a very, very fortunate person. But the longer time goes on and the more responsibilities that you get in life, it isn't just as easy as snap your fingers and things are just going to be able to change themselves. But, and I want to put this in big writing, but does not mean that it cannot be done. And here's my thinking to this, and I just think, so we retire at the age of 65, 70, I mean it really does depend nowadays, where obviously retirement is a lot older, but we are looking to retire at a older age. And so you just think, even at the age of 35, you potentially haven't even done half your working life. And you're actually telling me that it's too late to change. And I just think for some people who want to start something for themselves or want to do something, and they just think, oh, well, I can't because of this or because of that or whatever it is. And it's just like, that's not true. Can you imagine doing the same thing that you dislike doing for the next 20, 25 years? If the answer is yes, you could stand waking up every day and doing it and muddling through because maybe the gains of that sustains a lifestyle that you like, absolutely fair enough. But I'm talking to the people who the thought of even waking up for the next week doing what they want to do or doing what they're having to do does not work for them, does not fulfill them, does not provide what it is that they want from life, then they're the people who need to be listening to that. That's you. You need to be listening to this because you need to realize and understand that it is not too late. It is not too late to start your own business if that's what you want to do. There are so many people who started later on in life and have become very successful. Now, measure your success, okay? Don't think that you have to be a multimillionaire to be successful. Don't think that you have to be you know, known and seen by everyone to be successful. Success for everyone is different, and you need to recognize or realize what your idea of success is, not what society's idea of success is, which is either fame or money nowadays. We're talking about success for you. What, when you close the door and you shut your bedroom lights off and you go to, what will make you happy when you wake up? And that is what you need to work towards, and that is what you need to strive towards. And I understand that sometimes you might be sitting there thinking, well, that is easier said than done. That's, you know, that's not my position. But how about you work towards making that your position? So if it's time, if it's funds, if it's whatever the reason why you can't potentially work towards what it is that you really want to do, then let's make a plan. Make a plan as to how potentially that could happen. Even if you even think about, even if it's an hour a day, you're able to somehow, whether that's a lunch break, whether that's waking up an hour earlier, whether that's going to bed an hour later, every day, just to work a little bit towards what you want. That's 7 hours in a week that you have now put aside to try and to strive towards something else. And I just think that those 7 hours after 7 hours after 7, week after week, as I said, this isn't a sprint, this is a marathon. And you've just got to be able to do tiny pieces along that way. You've got to train a little bit every day to get to your end goal. And if you persevere enough and you're willing to put that work in, it can and will happen for you. And even if you don't reach the ultimate, the pinnacle of what it is that you are striving towards, and you manage to get, you know, even just halfway or a little bit above halfway, is that not better than being in a situation that you don't want to be in? And please stop thinking. I think that we live in such an era that the youth is, you know, it's just for the youth, it's just for the youth. You know, you hear all these 20-year-olds, which I bow down to any 20-year-old who is self-made and managed to do it and, you know, is running a business or however it is that they are making their way in the world. Hats off to you. But it's also not just for the 20-year-olds. It is also for 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s even. I mean, there's women and men in their 60s who have now started a different path in life and been successful. You know, you just got to keep realizing that it isn't just a one size fits all, and you start in your 20s and then you'll succeed by the end of your, you know, your late 20s. That is not everyone's path. Life throws us different curveballs, and what is meant for you will be for you at that time. So sometimes you might have to work 10, 15 years to get where you want to be. And yeah, that might be that you started in your 30s, but by the time you're 40 odd, you then have what you want and you are where you want to be in life. Is that not better than spending in your 40s still not being where you want to be? Just because it's not instant, just because it's not, you know, within the next year or two and you can see that that end goal is going to be reached, does not mean it is not worth striving for. Guys, I'm just going to quickly show you what I'm doing here, by the way. So I've done all my base coats. You'll see I just painted one finger. But I've done all my base coats. So I always go over like with a base because my nails chip really easily, unfortunately. So I always have to make sure I prime my nails. And then I'm just going in with this colour. There we go. Going in with that colour to show the rest. So this is literally, I mean, I'm no nail artist, but I am just I start in the middle and then work my way around the outside of the nail, which again, but what is my friend is cotton buds. I don't know about anyone else, but cotton buds are my friend. I just dip them in nail varnish remover if I get any around the outside. Normally I'm not too bad with my left hand because I'm right-handed. But my right hand, ooh boy, that turns into a mess. I'm actually running out of this nail varnish a little bit, but that's okay. We work with what we have. And right now, we have a half, well, not even half empty, less than half empty bottle. And I'm usually okay with getting a little bit of nail varnish on the nail that's not done, because I'm going to paint over it anyway. So I kind of feel that that's not a bad job in general. Yeah, so I usually, it depends on the nail varnish as well, whether or not I do a thickness like double or whether I just do one layer. Just depends on that nail varnish. This is a Nails ink. This is Nails ink. I actually do like Nails ink nail varnish. It is super handy and actually pretty good, but it does cost a little bit more. However, I think for some people they can use like the super cheap nail varnishes. You can use the super cheap nail varnishes and it works absolutely fine for them. Unfortunately, well, if I want my nail varnish to last, which this needs to last till Saturday, and I'm midweek at the moment, so the really super cheap nail varnishes would not work for me. And just a quick little handy tip, I don't know if this will work for everyone. So I'm using obviously the buds, which you usually clean your ears in. You can get the pointy ones, which actually work better, but this is all I had for the time being. But if I am going to pour some in, some nail varnish remover on it, like when I have a bottle which only has this amount in, I do sometimes pour it in the cap. Pour it in like this and then dip the bud in that, and I find it easier. Anyway, I have to say that I'm really fortunate that I have most people around me who are really supportive of my endeavors and creativity and anything that I want to do. But I understand that that isn't always the case. There are sometimes people around who aren't necessarily the most supportive of your ideas or of your creations or whatever it is that you want to do. Guys, I hope that you can't hear. I've got this really loud ice cream truck going by, and maybe the camera's picking it up, I don't know. But anyway, apologies if you can hear it. But yeah, if you haven't got the most supportive people around you, that's okay. As in, you don't need it. Does it help? Absolutely, because it helps when times get tough and you need that support system. But if that's not necessarily what's around you, then go online. There are so many communities online that can help people. They can help you. People, like-minded people who aren't there just to tear you down or to tell you that you can't or to be a naysayer in your life. They'll actually be there to support you. I would love for this channel to be one of them. And just remember, naysayers are people who wish that they could do what you are doing, who wish they had the guts to do what you're doing. That's all they are. They're just people who want to squash other people's dreams because they had theirs and they don't feel like they can fulfill them. And you know the saying, misery loves company. Ba-doom. Yes, exactly. So if someone's not doing anything that they want to be doing, well, it's easier that I can bring you along with my ride and you're not doing what you're doing, and then we can both not do what we want to do. then you succeed and flourish in what it is that makes you happy and fulfills you. And I'm still sitting here realizing that I'm still not fulfilled and I'm still in the same place. So I really just wanted to kind of, yeah, just kind of open this forum up and tell people who are in a place that they're umming and ahhing maybe, not sure whether or not whether they have the ability to go and do what it is that they want to do, or whatever the reason. And I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can. Only you will be in your own way, and only you can stop yourself. So make sure that you are your biggest cheerleader and not your biggest booer. I mean, can you even imagine if Samuel L. Jackson at the age of 46 said, he made it at the age of 46, but if he at the age of 45 or 35 had gone, I'm too old, I can't anymore. We wouldn't have Samuel L. Jackson. The same when it comes to Vera Wang. Vera Wang didn't even get into the fashion industry until her 40s. She completely changed direction. J.K. Rowling. There is just so many people who are amazing, and we look at them and we're in awe maybe, or we think, my goodness, like, you are amazing, and they didn't do it until later on in life. Even that saying, later on in life, it's like, life is so long nowadays. We live for so long. You don't need to have got everything and created everything in your 20s. Like, there is so much more that you can do, and yeah, there's so much more that you can aim towards, and you can get that later on in life and still reap the rewards in every way, in every aspect. Guys, so I just wanted to just share some of this conversation and share the thoughts. So if you are sitting there and you are double doubting yourself, stop double doubting yourself, okay? Get up and make the first move. And just know that you can pop a comment below, post whatever it is that you want to post, and let's just support one another. On the note of support, nails are done, ready orange, and fingers crossed they will last till Saturday. Alright guys, I hope this has been semi-helpful and a bit of a pep talk. Sometimes we all need a bit of talking to. Until next week, I'll speak to you later. Bye.